So, welcome you guys to our Daring Faith team call. I just want to get started by saying, last month was a crazy month, I think, for everybody. But with that said, we still got, Brittany got on the board. She's usually only at 2, so this time she got 4 points. So that was awesome to see her doubling up on her end. And then obviously we have Anna in the house with 8 points, and then I made it just in the nick of time at the end with 10. So not gonna lie, by Friday I was at 4 and was like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I gonna do? And somehow in my head, not that it would have even made a difference, but there was 31, or I thought in my head that there was 31 days. So I gave myself an extra day, which is dumb in and of itself. But when I realized it wasn't, I was like, oh, I gotta make this happen by Sunday. Anyways, so just wanted to acknowledge all that. But I also just want to dive in and just say, recognize Miss Sam for last night. That was super awesome. No, you did not ramble. I honestly felt like, because I can tell with you when you get nervous, you kind of will stumble over your words because you get so caught up and you're not able to think in your mind because you're thinking so much about the environment surroundings, even though it's virtual. But you did amazing. You spoke so genuine. I think being on spot that way almost kind of helped you to not overthink what you were saying and just kind of blah, 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 and that blah, blah, blah actually went really well. So I know you helped me, and I'm sure you helped a bunch of other people in Dare to Dream. Did you guys get a chance to check out today's by chance? Not yet? Okay. It's awesome. So make sure whenever you get some time to go back there and check it out. I'm making sure to tune into every one of them because last night, and it's funny because I know Anna, you had mentioned it kind of got you anxious afterwards. And then after you let it sink in, I could not sleep, and I realized it wasn't out of good. I was starting to have self-doubt over God, am I doing things all wrong and all this stuff. And so I woke up this morning and felt a little bit better after just doing my miracle morning. And anyways, long story short, it actually got me thinking some really good things. So I wanted to share it with you guys and see if it's something that y'all want to do together to make the most of October. Anna and I had talked also, Sam, about doing more of obviously we do daily challenge. I did the daily challenges in the morning with my group, kind of trying to implement that, but from a coaching world, not necessarily challenges, but almost helpful reminders in the morning for basically getting our crap done and getting out of our own way kind of a thing. But the more and more I thought about it, and especially after last night, I was hearing Jessica say, it's so easy for us to, when someone shows up for to do regardless of coaching, when someone shows up and they're getting this awesome transformation, it's pridefully or selfishly, we want to think that it's our doing. And then the reverse, when someone doesn't do anything, we just negative self-talk ourselves into thinking we're the cause and the reason behind that. And her reminder to me last night was whatever way that goes has absolutely nothing to do with us. And that's hard. That's a hard reality to face. It's a lot easier said than done than to walk in action with that because, and even as she said, we have to remove emotion out of this business. And I don't know about y'all, but that's a really, really, really hard task for me to do. So, and then there's that that balance of this is a people business. This is a relationship business. But if you're making it a relationship, it can't be about too much about emotions. So it's how do you find, the balance between that, right? So she said a bunch of other stuff, and I was going to repeat and write down notes and kind of share and see what you guys thought. But instead of me just talking up a storm, I kind of wanted to just share with you guys what I had in my heart. And then also kind of just want to hear y'all's reflection based on the last 24 hours of going through that kind of stuff. As y'all know, I am a huge advocate for Miracle Morning. There's no surprise there. I've read through so I don't know if y'all have actually read the book or even looked at the book, but there's Miracle Morning that's just plain Miracle Morning, and then there's like sub-genres of it. It's like Miracle Morning for families, like family, parents and families. There's Miracle Morning for real estate agents. There's Miracle Mornings for network marketers, actually. Like there's actually a separate one for that. And there's a couple of other different ones. But anyway, I bring it up because it kind of just clicked with me today that I love having the Miracle Morning in my group. And I like that it's a little bit more focused towards, like, obviously whatever personal development anybody in that group wants to do. It could be devotional, it could be whatever. I don't hone in on the business, obviously, because that's the challenge group side of things. But I realized what might be missing in our team is like obviously you've heard me talk about this so many different times about like how can we really bring each other together and like help each other out. And I feel like that it's just kind of like constant failing at that piece, and that's such a huge aspect of all of this. As you know, Sam, you even mentioned in your story yesterday, that's what brought you back there, to and into this, because you knew you were going to have the support, you knew you were going to have the tools that you needed. So with all that to say, I just started thinking like, I don't know what I need to do to help like really push the importance of this, but I remember hearing from several different coaches, like top coaches that were on stage talking about this, about Miracle Morning. And I listened. I actually just downloaded the network marketing one today and started listening to it, and I was just blown away by the focus of what it spoke on with being a network marketer. It's actually what led me into like the co-author to the network marketing one is the one who talked about that video that I shared today in the group about pyramid schemes. I like died laughing. And then I also shared the affirmations that came from within the book. I just wrote them down and then shared, and I'm going to start doing those myself. But I guess I just wanted to just honestly share with you guys that I personally think this could become, I know this would be life-changing. I know it's going to be a challenge, but I know that when I did it for 12 weeks solid, I never missed a single day. I literally, by the end of 12 weeks, I kid you not, guys, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but I actually believed I could be like, have $1 million a year business. Like my mind was so shifted to believing all of this. And what I did not do the best at is give myself grace in the period of like, oh, here's baby. And I need to not beat myself up over the fact that like, I've got a transitional period going on here. But now literally just getting back into it the past, like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 days, I can't remember exactly how many days, I'm already noticing how much more of a positive mindset I have about the business again when I got into such a funk about it. So because of all of that, maybe it was God's way of using like that downfall to make me realize like, wow, this really makes a solid impact. How do you guys feel about using October as like a 30-day challenge to all doing the Miracle Morning together and to like literally doing this like every single day? And I thought instead of us having like a challenge in the morning, it could be like whatever aspect of the Miracle Morning you want to share that you did good at, or that you, like maybe it's when obviously it's Miracle Morning is not going to talk about the inviting aspect, but being a little bit more open to sharing conversations that we're having with people, not necessarily including names, because I think it's, that can be private and that kind of thing, but like just, I guess just trying to come together a little bit more on that challenge, but not trying to hold each other's hands at the same time, if that makes sense.
So it's going to be similar to what we're doing in the other challenge. I guess I'm missing the connection of like how this one will be different, or will we be doing specifically the network marketing one?
That's because, have y'all actually read the book?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to think of, like how we could, because in the month, this is obviously for the next 4 weeks, basically, I was going to suggest, if you guys, because I'm sure y'all are reading something else right now. I didn't know how you felt about like, I just download the Audible to these. Like I went to even go buy it today, and I was like, I don't know that I need to buy it. Like I think the concepts, like, but I think it's very vital to listen to the book. I think it really helps to give like a little bit more of the like emphasis to why it is so important and what it can do for your life, especially the network marketing one, because now having only listened before to the parents and families one, I think is great for the VIP group mindset. But I think for the network marketing side of things, I think it's really, really awesome. Like I'm only at like a couple chapters and I haven't read the whole thing, but I thought that maybe we could do like go through that. And then if y'all want to go through something like Get Over Your Damn Self Again together or something, like, I just feel like there's this, like, I know Sam, we've talked a bit before about how like I'll bounce back and forth from like, oh, I want to lead with customers, and the next thing is I want to lead with the business. Well, after listening to Jessica too, I was like, for one, her mentioning, like, I don't know if y'all caught it last night, but her mentioning, I think it was to your response, Sam, but the challenge groups weren't always a thing. And I'm like, dang, like I'm literally putting so much stress on myself that like it's the end all be all. Like if I don't post a challenge by so like a certain time in the morning, or if people don't respond, like whatever, that I'm like thinking like, this is going to keep somebody from doing their workout. This is going to keep like, and things are just going to go terrible if I don't do this and this and that. And it shouldn't be like that. And so I just felt like if instead of like being so focused on it has to be one way or the other, like talking about both equally and giving whoever we're talking to the opportunity to say which one they want, they want to do based on whatever connection there was from a post or however way you reached out to people. So does that make more sense, or am I kind of rambling?
Yeah, no, it was. Hey, Jenny. But okay, so it was not a response to my issue. It was actually a response to Janae, the girl after me, and I think what we both struggle with a lot is we do always try to hold people's hand, and when they don't, like, when they're like little kids and they're like, I don't want to hold your hand, I want to do my own thing, we get almost offended by it. Like, okay, I'm trying to show you the way. Like, I know this is the way to go, because if you go that way, you're going to end up having to turn around and come back and go this way anyway. So why don't you just follow me? So we get kind of frustrated with it almost. And that's when we start questioning, like, how do I guide them in a better way where they're going to follow me? And that's where we get hung up. So it's just one of those things where people are going to do this their own way, regardless of how we do it. And no matter how many times we say, don't try to reinvent the wheel. I'm guilty of it. I've tried to do it my own way, somewhat. I try to stay within that circle a little bit, but it kind of ends up kind of an oval because I get a little out of line there. But so yeah, I mean, if there's sort of a guide, but not like a strict, it has to be this way, I think people tend to follow it a little better because, we are women and we're like, okay, if you tell me I can't do something a certain way, I'm going to try it just because you said I can't. So,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Also, like, I think the biggest thing that I picked up on last night, and this might better answer your question, Anna, other than just like honing in on the book itself, is how much, like I was even telling Joe earlier, that it does not matter what network marketing business you're with. It's 100% all about the mindset, no matter which product you're selling, right? Like, because it's not just sales. It's also, you're selling a lifestyle. You're not just selling a product, right? Like, you're literally selling someone on, hey, let me do a flip of a 180 to the way you've seen your mind. Like that pyramid video that I shared, like people just see it as such a complete different way of life than they've ever been trained on. And they've been brainwashed for so long that, I was there too. I even remember before I actually knew that coaching was a thing. I don't know if I ever told y'all this. I don't talk about it very often, but like I literally, when I was doing Insanity, way before coaching ever came in the picture, I was also studying to be certified as a personal trainer and was going to go that path full time. I went on to Beachbody's website. I don't remember if it was Team Beachbody or beachbody.com, but I remember going to that website, trying to find a job with them because I thought that that's what I could do. Like go like find like an actual job with Beachbody. And I think somehow I came across like the actual coaching business, but I was so confused on it because I didn't know anything about network marketing other than like Mary Kay, and that was creepy to me. So like I just didn't ever do any of these things. So like I remember like looking through the disclaimer, and then my first thought process was, oh, pyramid scheme. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Like that's what I thought about. And then like 4 to 6 months later is when I found out about it through Facebook from a friend. Like that's all that it was. But so going back to that mindset, this miracle morning, and I know I'm going to sound like harsh and maybe y'all won't fully agree with me. If you're not a morning person, I think it's that much more reason why you should do it in the morning. So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to ask of you guys. And obviously you got to decide if you want to show up for it and do it or not. Like, can't force you guys. I'm going to do it. I just hope y'all will join me on it. Is to actually hone in on doing this in the morning and saying like, you know, non-negotiable, I will be in bed by X amount of time, I will wake up at X amount of time, and I will dedicate X amount of time to doing this, and set up your affirmations and use this, you can use like, I will be using the affirmations that I shared in Daring Faith that came from the book. I'm like, y'all know me, I'm blueprint person. I will use those for 30 days until I can figure out how to more specifically set them up for myself and my, more personally, but just seeing what that can do for your mind, because there's literally no way to express how much it does for you until you just do it. So I'm not getting smiles, and it makes me a little, I'm not really sure what y'all are thinking. You're like looking at me like I'm crazy.
So my only gut reaction to it is I find the miracle morning right now, like I'm not getting all the parts done in the challenge group as it is. And so then when I think about like the business one, like I think I'm willing to give it a shot and kind of revamp it and revisit it for the 30 days. But I feel like I always end up having to spread it out, or because it just doesn't, no matter when I get up, then my son just like magically wakes up at the same time that I do. And it's kind of just a mess. So I'm going to figure it out. But that's why I just my wheels are turning right now.
I get it. I totally get it. So listen, you guys, I live in 300 square foot of space. Like I deal with a very small amount of space to not wake up my infant child. So I get it. So I'm going to just give you like my little rundown of how I make this happen, and hope to God he doesn't wake up as I'm like tiptoeing past him to go to the bathroom. So this is what I do. I have my cup and my Energize with water, just enough in the morning, or it's at night. It's already set up in my bathroom and ready. Okay, so this is what I do. I also set up a full bottle of this right next to my bed, that's already got water in it, so that the moment my 5 o'clock alarm goes off, I chug this. Like I just drink it as fast as possible. When I do that, doing that alone actually helps to wake me up enough to where I don't even have to take my Energize until after I do my meditation. But what I do is I get out of bed, go to my bathroom, tiptoe, because I'm literally walking by my son, and I go to the bathroom, I sit on the toilet as I'm peeing and all that. Like I turn on my little meditation app, and 10 minutes of meditation puts me right, and I just started using the Calm app. I purchased it, like it was worth it to me. I just did it, but you can find free stuff out there all over the place. But 10 minutes of that, right after that is when I take my Energize, chug it, and then I have on my photo albums saved pictures of all my affirmations that I read aloud. It takes me another 10 minutes. To me, the affirmations part is one of the biggest, most vital, crucial aspects. So I don't care that it takes me 10 minutes or if it even takes me 15 minutes, because I know how much it's like, if I don't do that, then I'm just a hot mess. Right after that is when I go straight back to my bedroom. The next step is technically, if you did it in order, it'd be exercise, but I just had to bump that to later because of baby. So I go back to my bedroom, again, tiptoe. Hope to God I don't wake up my son again. And I do my reading, and then I do my journaling. And I actually, Hal from the author went live today and shared a couple of tips on some of these things in the Miracle Morning community group, which you can join for free, and actually shared like really awesome journal entry, like really quick. And he also shared about how much time he spends in each. And he even talks about like from the visualization side of things, like he used an example of like when he had done like some marathon run or something before, and he was like, it was like one of those bucket lists, like first time and last time, don't ever want to do that again. But he really wanted to do it. And so what he did was in his visualization is he actually took a picture. He wanted to visualize himself like winning this, not winning this thing, winning it in his mind, like making it to the finish line. So he found a picture of the exact finish line to this exact marathon run he was going to do and posted it up so that he could every day visualize himself running and making it to that finish line. And he like talked about all like the details of this visualization. But he also did point out that the visualization is the one thing he doesn't do every day. He does it when he needs to hone in on something to really visualize. So like for me, for y'all, I know for me right now, I really want to start visualizing. Like I joined this team. I joined Dare to Dream. I joined Beachbody and coaching because I wanted friends. I mean, if I'm being honest, I did not have any solid good friends at all. Y'all are my closest friends. Like, I don't care if it sounds pathetic. Like, y'all are really like my closest friends. Like, y'all are everything to me. Like, I don't think you realize it. Like, I look forward to this because I don't get the human interaction all the time. Right. So, when I say human, I mean like other women like you guys that like connect with me and understand life and want to live life in a way that we're living. And so I even wrote that down today. I'm like, I want nothing more than to just, like, I visualize like retreats and like going on fun, like little mini vacations with you guys and like doing life in such a way that is just like super, just like fun and like not being stressed by finances and not being stressed by all the things that keep us down and keep our mindsets in such a negative space. So I feel like at this point I might be rambling, but this is why I really just believe in it so much, because you get to like really think about these things every single day, every single morning. So there's that.
Like, I feel like I have other friends and stuff, but because we are so involved in everything that we're doing here with our workouts, with our, our PD and all of that kind of stuff, and the struggles that we go through with the business and all of that, I feel like nobody else understands that. People are like, if I'm in a grumpy mood because I didn't get my workout in, or I, for whatever reason, I heard too many no's, or, I lost 2 coaches and things like that. Other people don't get that. Like, they're like, okay, and you've lost like however much weight. Like, that's great. They think that that's what it's all about. And then they won't take the time to really listen sometimes to what I have to say. Not that like my friends are not listening. They just aren't in a place where they want to do what I do or what have you. But so, yeah, whenever I get to actually talk about the business, and that's why I was nervous. I don't know that I was so much nervous last night as I was excited to get to talk to people that understood where I was coming from. Like, they understood the struggle and the stress that I'm feeling and how it really affects so much of my life now. And like, nobody else that I talked to would have understood that, other than you guys and of course Dare to Dream. So it felt really good to be able to speak freely about it with people that understand. So I definitely get where you're coming from with, you guys are my friends and y'all understand me best because of the season that I'm in. So yeah.
I love it.
What's that?
I said I love your cat.
Oh. All right. So you up for the 30-day challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, what the heck are we talking about?
I'm pretty sure I'm doing Miracle Morning.
What?
I'm pretty sure I'm already doing Miracle Morning.
Well, okay, so let me be a little bit more clear. 30-day miracle morning challenge, focusing in like is anybody doing affirmations for their business?
I can't hear you.
Is anybody doing affirmations for their business? Every single day?
Some of my affirmations are business geared, yes.
Okay. Are you speaking to yourself about how many days a week you're going to show up and how much time you're going to spend it at each specific time every day?
No.
How many follow-ups you're going to do a day? Probably not.
No.
I've see, this is what I was, when I was doing my 12 weeks, I was speaking very specific, so specific. And that example that I laid out in Daring Faith, that I got from the book today speaks on that. Like there's like, you'll see fill in the blanks of like how many days you're going to do. So just to give y'all, I'll just share my screen really, really fast. This is not going to take very long. Okay, the other thing I do is my workout's already set up for tomorrow. So there's that. But I just did today where I put together my schedule. And so what I did was I worked around my feeding my human schedule. So like I have my miracle morning, feed time, play time, because one of my biggest goals this month is being present. I want to be present in every area of my life. I want to be present as a wife. I want to be present with my relationship with God. I want to be present as a mother and as a coach and friend. And so what I'm trying to do is, while this is here, I'm also having to give myself grace on if my little human does not work the schedule as well with me, then I have to be okay with that. But the idea here is that like I've got a specific time when I feed and play with him. That's always there. And then I know when I'm going to do my workout, my posting, and my groups. And then these are my chunks for my inviting. And then my next step is tomorrow to kind of get back to getting myself into like a inviting rhythm of like, okay, how much time am I going to spend searching for new people to friend request on Instagram and on Facebook? How much time am I going to spend on new messages? How much time am I going to spend on engaging with people and that kind of thing? But the idea there is to have those two pockets. And then my adventure is like family time. And then the research nights are just kind of like trying to go on Instagram and figure out Instagram or whatever I need to do in that regard. So this is what I mean by just like kind of trying to set a little bit more intentionality and promising myself like how many days I'm going to show up, because I only want to invite Monday through Friday. I want the weekends to relax and then to reflect on my week so that I can be restored and not feel burnt out. This is going back to the visualization side as well, as like, this is how I can see my life panning out. I can see myself like once I get to a place where I'm like really hitting solid goals, I'd like to take out this second invite so that way, like literally I'm done with my work life by noon, and then the rest of my, afternoon could be spent with family, with the exception of like phone calls or team calls and things like that. So does that kind of like, in any way, like, does that help to kind of give an idea of like, what I mean by like what this miracle morning can do is to open up and like, the more you fill your cup up in the morning and help yourself to really hone in on that, the more freed up your mindset is for the rest of the day. So you don't feel so stressed and overwhelmed, and you're able to address, like, I even remember like my conversations with people became so much smoother and like more confident and like, I mean, Anna, you were in the midst of me going through that when I was talking to you. Like, I literally, like, it felt natural. This is one thing I want to ask you guys, because this is something that made me think about. Michael Ullman posted in the comments of last night's video asking, I can't remember her name, the third person, but anyways, would you be still doing the product if you weren't coaching? That's massive. If you aren't, then bye-bye, see you later, you don't need to be here. Seriously, like, tough love. Walk away. If you wouldn't do these products if you weren't coaching, then that in of itself is going to keep you from ever being successful in this business. You have to show up for yourself every day. You have to be part of the product every day. Otherwise, there's nothing else that you're going to be able to give. Second, what I started thinking about from that question was, if I wasn't coaching, how would I still want to build relationships with people? How would I still be the network marketer? Like, what ways could I have conversations that would be genuine and authentic if I wasn't even a coach? Does that make sense what I'm asking? So like, if my end result or end goal wasn't to like bring people into this, what kind of things would I want to be talking about with people? Like, how would I take that approach? And so it just made me start thinking about, like, obviously things that are going in my life right now, but that's what made me realize, like, that's how I can, like, approach myself on, like, if I'm reaching out to someone to talk with, can I see myself, like, really legitimately wanting to, like, build a conversation and build, like, a friendship and a relationship with this person? So anyways, I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but it just, when you asked that, like, I kind of looked at it from the coaching side as well. So.
Yeah, I think that's something that I sometimes struggle with because I'm not a very like small talk kind of person, I guess. Like I like to get to the point, like tell you what I'm doing, like whatever. So and I think that's probably part of the reason I don't have a lot of girlfriends. But so the thing that, like, I think I struggle with as well is, like, how do you start a conversation, like, genuinely about something that has nothing to do with, what we're doing as coaches, our workouts, those kind of things, like, how's your family, that kind of thing, turns into, and that turned into the coaching conversations without it feeling icky, because I feel like sometimes whenever I talk to people, like, it starts out genuine, especially like in my warm market or whatever, like it'll start out genuine, but I sometimes feel like every conversation that I have ends up with Beachbody. And not that that's a horrible thing, but sometimes I walk away from that like, God, can I have a conversation anymore without talking about Beachbody before I walk away? So I don't know. That's like, it's a good thing. It is, but it's not. It's for me sometimes, just because I do get so many no's and things like that, and I think that's part of what gets in my head about it. But I don't know. I don't remember the last time I had like a genuine conversation with that that didn't somehow end up something about Beachbody. So I struggle with that.
I mean, that's my goal with every person I ever interact with. And I was just talking with Anna about this. Like, I was proud of myself that I finally made it to the laundromat and actually brought up Beachbody and brought up what I did, because that is, at the end of the day, that is my goal. Because it's selfish for us not to, because we know how much it's changing our life. Like, whether it's the product side of things or whether it's the coaching side of things, it's life changing. Like, this is given me life. It's, so anyway.
And I don't find that, like, if they ask me about it, like if they see the difference in how I looked 6 months ago whenever they saw me compared to now, that kind of thing, like if they see the difference and they ask me about it, I don't feel icky about it. But if, have conversation, if someone, if I just talk to somebody and then I'm like, kind of like, oh, by the way, that's the ones that I'm just like, why did I do that? Like, who am I? Because it just doesn't feel, at that point is when I struggle with, it doesn't feel genuine kind of thing. It's almost like, hey, I haven't talked to you about this, so let me put it here in your face on a platter,
Guess what? Affirmations. I'm telling you, like, go back and read what I posted in Daring Faith today. The list of affirmations, because it just, I can guarantee you, there's no way of you ever understanding what I'm talking about until you just live it. Just like I can tell somebody that's never done a Beachbody workout all day long about how great it is, but they're not going to ever understand it until they do it themselves. Same thing with Shakeology. Like, it's so freaking hard to explain, because you're like, you just got to drink it every day, and then you'll understand how amazing it is. So I say, let's do this. Let's do this. And, like, own up, show up in the group. I'm going to show up in there and mention every day exactly what what was hard for me, what was, a success for me or whatever. But I'm going to leave it up to everybody to just post whatever you want to post. The idea behind this Miracle Morning is to also share the inviting side. It's not just to talk about Miracle Morning. It's to allow ourselves to, like, share together what the Miracle Morning is doing to help us be stronger as a coach, and as we invite and as we gain confidence to share this, between sharing our story publicly to having conversations with people and all that kind of stuff. So that sounds good for you guys? Yeah? Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess from this point forward, starting tomorrow, guys, so it's 9:37 my time. I know it's 8:30 Central. With that said, you got some time to get your butt in gear tonight to get ready to wake up in the morning. And if you don't have Energize on hand, you need it desperately now.
I just ordered a new tub to go with my new Ship Shop hoodie, and I finally got the little things for the floor. I didn't get them last time. I don't know why I didn't get them last time, but I'm excited about it. I was even more excited whenever I found out that I'm eligible for the live training thing and also the coach group. So, yay! I haven't got an email yet. If I don't get one in the next couple of days, I'm gonna be calling them again.
That's awesome. So real quick before we check out tonight, one thing I wanted to share with you guys is, obviously I've mentioned in here several times for quite some time, especially when I was doing the 12 weeks of Miracle Morning, that I was shooting for our team to be elite or premier this year. Like, that's what I really wanted to do, is help us all build up and work together. The crazy part is it takes 105 points. I'm not going to go into details about what those points are, but it's only done by teamwork. There's absolutely no way. You cannot, it's impossible to do by yourself, because these points are literally from your downline and you collectively working together. I wanted y'all to know that at this point, it's the beginning of October. You have to go in a qualification round like mid-November. But like our team, it's like the last time I checked, which they haven't updated it for October yet, was like at 57 points for 105 points, y'all. Like, that's amazing. Amazing. And you guys have been very big contributors to that. I just want y'all to know, like, each of y'all. So I shocked myself, because even though I was like really gung-ho and excited and like helping and like working together as a team, it still just shocked me to see that number just grow like that. Because I was like, man, like, if only we were really working together even more solid, like how much more would this be like huge? So next year, leadership, we're going to that as a team. No more FOMO. All right, I love you guys. We're running out of time. I will share a little bit more tomorrow, but I cannot wait for this. Thank you guys for being on board. We're going to change lives this month. I just know it. Peace out.